Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Astrology with your friend Gretchen Heidel, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, and so much more. I'm here tonight live on Monday. It is February 19th, 2024. Really glad if you are just joining me live on Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Facebook. I'm here every Monday night, unless if it's a major holiday. And I also co-record for YouTube. I post the replay after the fact, and I post it on YouTube. So welcome, welcome. No, Joanne, it wasn't just you. It was me. I had a lot of problems with my setup tonight, but you are the first viewer to comment, so thank you so much. I appreciate it. So if you're just joining me, please go ahead, comment below. What is your astrological sign, your rising sign, your moon sign? What is going on with you? Where are you tuning in from? Love to hear from you in the comments in my astro community. And I'm going over This Week in Astrology all the way from February 19th, all the way until February 25th, 2024. So welcome. If you're just joining, please like the broadcast, comment below, because that's what starts to get the algorithm rolling. And yeah, we have a lot of astrological energy that we had last week that we came off of. We're really coming down off of this big, stuff that was going on last week. We had Pluto very, very active last week. Pluto in Aquarius. Anybody else feel that Pluto in Aquarius going on? Yay, people are commenting. That's great. There was a lot of astrological energy, if you guys remember last week. Hey, Robin, Gemini in Vermont. We had on Valentine's Day, Wednesday, February 14th, we had Mars forming a conjunction with Pluto. And then on Saturday, February 17th, we had Venus forming a conjunction with Pluto. And boy, it was like those were like punch you in the face type of transits. They were pretty harsh, those Pluto transits. And then in the middle, we had the second quarter lunar cycle. And so that was a thing too. So we had the second quarter lunar cycle, which is AKA the second chance new moon. And that was last Friday. And then we had Venus moved into the astrological sign of Aquarius last week. So we had a lot of planetary energy. We had Venus and Mars actually last week moved into Aquarius. So we're a lot of Aquarius energy still, except getting into this week on February 19th, 2024, we have the start of Pisces season. We already are in Pisces season. I can't believe it. It feels like we just started Aquarius season still, but we are officially in Pisces season as of yesterday, and that was on February 18th, Sunday at 11:13 p.m. Eastern time. So right before midnight last night, we had Pisces season starting, and that's pretty fun, it's a new season. It's interesting because last week we just had Venus and Mars moving into Aquarius, and now the sun is already moving into Pisces. If there's any Pisces out there, please say hi. And I'm going to talk about this more as I get towards the end of the week. There's really, the beginning of this week is definitely kind of astrologically busy, but it's busy more with lunar transits, not as much with major planetary transits in the very beginning part of the week. So Monday, the 19th, Tuesday, the 20th, and the 21st, they're all, I won't say mild days because some of these lunar transits are kind of rough, especially on Wednesday. So I'm going to start with that day on the 21st. So Monday and Tuesday, I'm not going to say are quiet, but they're definitely like more, there was less going on, but we still have a lot of the reverberations from last week, because remember, these planets don't just like stop and start and just because that thing happened on that day. No. Especially planetary transits, they have a long shelf life depending on, which planet is being aspected. So we're still feeling the reverberations of some of that Pluto energy that was experienced last week, which was a little dark and a little intense and a little crunchy. So that's still going on. I'm going to get into Wednesday because speaking of Pluto, that's what's going to happen on Wednesday. So on the 21st Wednesday, early in the morning, 8:40 a.m. Eastern time, the moon is going to transfer into Leo. And what will happen, we've been getting kind of, I don't know if spoiled is the right word, but accustomed to having, when the moon is in Cancer, Cancer moon opposes Pluto and Capricorn. Well, we're done that phase. We've been in that phase all the way since 2008. I'm going to keep talking about Pluto because Pluto moving into a sign for 21 years is a big, huge deal. So I keep talking about Pluto a lot because it's still going on, and we're having a lot of things happening that we haven't really had much yet so far with Pluto. So now what's happening is when the moon moves into Leo, that means the moon is going to oppose Pluto, which is in Aquarius. Leo and Aquarius are opposite of each other. So that's what's going on. So on Wednesday at 8:40 a.m. Eastern time, again, 5:40 a.m. on the West Coast, if you're out in the United States West Coast, that's what's going to happen is the Leo moon is going to oppose the Pluto planetary transits. So guess what's happening? All the planets that are in Aquarius right now, which right now is Pluto, is Venus, and Mars. The moon in Leo is going to oppose all three of those because that's what happened last week. See, so they're mirroring the planetary energy from last week. So stuff might come up for us on the 21st. Intensity around money, intensity around love, intensity with anger issues, intensity with all that stuff. Now, is it going to be as powerful and as potent as last week? No. I mean, I did broadcast, and I'm sorry to be, talking about dark subjects, and I won't talk about it very long, but that was why there was a lot of shootings last week, all over the news. There was a lot of violence last week. And so we might see a little kind of, resurgence of that coming on around Wednesday. Thank you, Rosalie. Oh, you're my first stars for the night. Thank you so much. Yay, 50 stars from Rosalie. I very much appreciate you. And I'm sure even though your grandson's not with you now, I appreciate him as well, because I know he would probably like that. So anyway, so getting back to this, there's gonna be some crunchy, and so the moon is our emotions and our feelings, and then it's gonna be aspecting all of that stuff that was highlighted last week, Pluto, Venus, and Mars. And so we're gonna be feeling that again, another wave of that. So if you have anything on Wednesday coming up, yes, it can be powerful. Pluto is transformation, it's Phoenix rising, it's death, rebirth, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that can be very powerful transformation, but it also can be hard and crunchy. I mean, it can be difficult and mucky and murky. And so we just want to watch. That's not the day to schedule a big talk with your loved one, or debate politics at work or any kind of thing, run around with scissors, okay? That's not the day to do that on Wednesday, because that could be a little difficult. Again, these are moon transits. So the good news is about moon transits is they go by quickly within just a few hours. They're very potent around the times that I list. If you guys watch or read my posts on my astrological page, you'll know a lot of times I'll say moon transits are shorter in duration than planetary transits, and that's why. That is what's going on. So we have a few minor planetary transits and a lot of moon transits on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now, the first sort of bigger transit that we get into as far as planetary transits goes really isn't until Thursday. When we get into Thursday, Venus is going to form a conjunction with Mars in the astrological sign of Aquarius. Now, remember that book? I think John Gray was the author's name. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, or men are from Mars, or I can't remember which way it goes, but so here we are with the lover and the passionate, and archetypally female and archetypally male. And we have this intermingling, this blending. Now it's going to be in the astrological sign of Aquarius, which, doesn't happen very frequently when they meet up. And so this is a fun time. This is wherever Aquarius is in your astrological chart is going to be lit up. These two lovers, I guess you could say, are moving through that sign of Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is not just, Aquarius, Venus in Aquarius is about love, but this is also friendship. This is also acquaintances. This is also, your tribe. Aquarius is the natural ruler of the 11th house in all of our astrological charts. So that's kind of like our tribe and our friends and all that good stuff. And so that's fun. These two meeting up is not necessarily a negative thing. In fact, it could be quite positive, especially if you're looking for some love. It's all the love beams, if you have Venus, and Venus can really calm down Mars. When we think of Mars transits, because I always say watch the players. Who are the players in the transit? because a lot of times I see people saying, oh, this is going to be positive. Mars is forming a trine with Pluto, let's say. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but look at the players. It's Mars and Pluto. Ouch, they were ouchy. Well, when we have Venus and Mars, that's just different. Mars is a bit of a hothead. He has a temper issue. He's the god of the war, and that's basically what we call Mars is the god of war. So when we look at Venus aspecting Mars and kind of intermingling, well, she calms him down. She tames him, Even the warrior has to, have a little love in his life, right? And so Venus comes along and she knows how to deal with Mars. So all of a sudden, yes, we could have a little flare up of passion and a little flare up of but Venus helps to quell that very quickly, temper that down. Now it's in uber cerebral, okay? These are both very cerebral Venus and Mars transits. These are in Aquarius, and Aquarius likes to think about things, not just feel them. So it's a very cerebral sort of thing. So we could be thinking about love, and it doesn't have to even be romantic love. It can be love of your children, love of your animals, love of friends, acquaintances, all that good stuff. I really wish this transit was actually on Valentine's Day instead of that other yuckity stuff that was going on Valentine's Day, because that was really kind of rough. So this one, if you had a bad Valentine's Day, this one might actually help us out a little and maybe could make up for some of that stuff. So if you are an Aquarius or if you're Leo, you will especially feel that planetary transit, because it's going to be right up in your area of, wanting to kind of connect and wanting to, have a little romance. Yeah, Noel said Valentine's Day was blah. Yeah, Wendy said, need some loving over here. Thank you. Kelly said it's in your 7th house. Oh, that's very beneficial for you, Kelly. Gemini from New York, right? I know we should set up a dating site, Gretchen's dating site. I'll match you with your astrological. That would be really fun. I need to have some volunteers. I think that would be great. So the next day so that's a lovely transit. So if you have any flirting to do, if you want to ask out, the person you have a crush on, somebody that you've been thinking about, you want to kind of text or call or do, make a move. This is the day to make a romantic move. If you're thinking of signing up on a dating site, that's the time to use that planetary stuff to your advantage. If you are in the market, you're single, you're mingle, you're looking to, kind of slide into some DMs there, that is a great time to do it. Now, the peak of it, just before I move on, is on Thursday, 2/22/24, and that's going to be at 2:14 a.m. So again, it's overnight between Wednesday and Thursday. So if you're on the West Coast, the peak of this is going to be at 11:14 p.m. on the 21st. Okay, so it's one of those overnight ones. So after we get through that muckety muck on Wednesday, we could get into Thursday and have a little bit more love vibes. So that's good. Friday, this is where I'm going to spend a lot of time on this broadcast talking about Friday and Saturday, because those are the hot days. And we have a lot of kind of stuff that's like sort of, put in. And there is some love vibes going on behind the scenes of this day. Okay, so as we get into Friday on February 23rd, we have Mercury moving into Pisces. Okay, so like I said, Sunday on the 18th, we had the sun moving into Pisces. I'm going to talk about the sun and Mercury because I really didn't get to spend very much time talking about the start of Pisces season, and I don't want to, jip any of the Pisces that are out there. So I want to talk a little bit about Pisces. So the sun will be going through the astrological sign of Pisces. So we're in Pisces season all the way from February 18th all the way until March 19th. So that's Pisces season, and each season, what we call, is 1 month long. Then we're going to have Mercury on the 23rd moving into Pisces and going all the way until March 9th. So on the 23rd, it's going to be 2:29 a.m. Eastern time on the 23rd. Again, overnight. If you're on the West Coast, it'll be really on Thursday night at 11:29 p.m. Pacific time. So when we're going into Pisces season now, Mercury and the sun, they tend to move very like sort of close together. Wherever the sun is, Mercury is kind of either before or after the sun. So now Mercury and the sun are kind of, moving together. They're only about, what is that, 5 days apart. I mean, so that's getting close. They're getting close together. Zippy, that means they're making some headway. Pretty soon Mercury will overtake the sun, and then Mercury will be really fast. Okay. And that's what happens after Mercury retrograde is over. Mercury takes all this time to catch up, and then eventually goes past. So this is what's happening, is that we're moving into Pisces season. And Pisces, if we think about Pisces, where I was just talking about Aquarius is the ruler of the 11th house in the astrological chart, now we have Pisces, which is the ruler of the 12th house. So if you have any planets in the 12th house, you might understand this energy. It's a little bit hard for astrologers to describe, because it's the area of the chart that's hidden. It's the unconscious mind. It's the subconscious mind. Now we're getting into, what happens is the sun goes all the way around, all through all 12 signs, and the last sign is Pisces before we get into Aries, which is the start of a whole new astrological new year. So Pisces is, we're wrapping it up, we're finishing things. So if you think about the 12th house, that's where in everybody's chart, we're wrapping something up. Okay, we're finishing. Like if you think about when you get to the very end of like a really, really big project, usually you just need a day or 2 or 3 or a week or more to wrap up all of the things that you started. You're finishing something, you're wrapping up, you're completing it. You might even just be like, whew, I need a day or 2 to process all that. Sometimes it's like that. It's kind of like the rest stop before we're going to start the new cycle and we go into zippy Aries. So we'll probably get into our feelings. We'll probably, want to kind of contemplate, meditate, pray, because that's the area of the chart that is associated with spirituality. Not as much religion. It's more spirituality and our connection to God, Buddha, Allah, whoever you pray to, the crown chakra sort of energy. And that is very much Pisces. So if you have planets in your 12th house, it doesn't matter if they're in Pisces or not. That's the Pisces area. Okay. Where Pisces is located. And so if you think about Pisces, a lot of times Pisces, because it is the last, it is said to embody all 12 of the or all 11 of the other astrological signs. So there's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And Pisces really can be all over the place. If you ever tried the game of like guessing a person's sign, sometimes it's a little hard to guess Pisces, because Pisces can be all very different, especially based on what is their rising sign and their moon sign. And then you'll kind of know, because they might be, if they're like, let's say they're Aries rising, well, they might be a little bit more of an aggressive Pisces. Or let's say, they have a Gemini rising. Well, they might be a little bit more of a chatty, talkative Pisces. You just really don't know. Pisces can be really all over the place. That's why they're often called the chameleon. And so, it's just kind of about us getting in touch with the ethereal, getting in touch with our spirituality. What does that mean to us? Nowadays in the world, really, we're not really talking too much or as much about spirituality, and we're not talking as much about taking time to contemplate, to rest, to have a sabbatical, to, figure things out, and take a moment to sort of breathe and, get into our feelings. But yet it's a huge need that we all have. And the 12th house is something that we all need. Even though the 12th house is said to be one of the hardest houses, because people don't like to sit and contemplate and pray. I do, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't want to sit with their feelings. That's why there's drugs. That's why there's alcohol. That's why there's addiction. That's why there's many, many, many pastimes of distraction and, too much of whatever, food, sex, whatever it is that you use to distract yourself, social media, scrolling on your phone. And so that's why a Pisces is associated with escapism and all of this other stuff, drugs, alcohol, addiction, and things. It is associated with that because, a lot of people don't like to sit and contemplate or to be at one with themselves and to look at themselves It's like without all the distraction and the friends and all the different things. So it's a hard house for some people to go through. It's a hard season to go through. If you think about the end of February getting into March, okay, a lot of people have a difficult time before the tulips come out and before all the, it could be still snowing and there's like, it's, yucky outside. Sometimes there's a lot of bad weather. And that can be just a time of year generally that people struggle. And so Pisces season is not meant to be bad. It's not meant to be a bad time. It's just that we're ending the winter, we're wrapping things up. And it is a mutable sign. So we're transitioning from winter into spring. That's, all the mutables. That's what they do is we kind of go from one season to another season. And then, we're just here to kind of just get into our feelings and really think about like, what was my role in what just happened? And what is my unconscious patterning? And what is all the meaning behind this? And all that stuff. And a lot of times we don't have time in our society to do that. And we don't have time, like we can't just call into work and go, hey, I'm going to contemplate the meaning of life for like 4 or 5 days. I'll get back to you. It's hard in our society, the way our society is structured to do that. But that's what we're supposed to do. And that's what we're supposed to do during Pisces season and really get into our creativity, get into, sort of what makes us feel good as far as our creative juices. They're very, I posted a list on my post about Pisces season on my, all my social media pages with all the, different stars and people that are Pisces. But I mean, the list was so huge, like if I included every single Pisces, it would just be so many that are famous for such creative talent, like Michelangelo and, Albert Einstein and like all these different really brilliant people are Pisces, people, and the flow of creativity, it's one of those things that is really special with Pisces and Pisces season. So I'm going to talk about the archangel associated with Pisces is Archangel Sandalphon. Okay. Now it's interesting because Archangel Sandalphon is said to be the only archangel that was ever really mortal. He was Elijah in when he was a man. So I will refer to him as he because a lot of the archangels, are they them situation. Yes, Ashley Ann, you hope to get a lot of work done on your creative book. Yeah, exactly, in Pisces season. Kelly said you can if you're a state worker. That's really funny. So Archangel Sandalphon is called the brother angel. He's referred to as the brother angel. And he is said, because he was mortal, he knows how hard Earth School is. He knows how hard it is sometimes for us to be fallible, to not be perfect. If you think about Pisces is the opposite of Virgo. So Virgos, you might find this season especially to be challenging for you because it's challenging the perfection and everything's got to be a certain way. And, Pisces is not about that. It's messy and it's going, hey, we're fallible. I'm just a mere human and whatever. So, here we are with Elijah, aka Archangel Sandalphon. It's funny because Elijah was said to have been Metatron's twin. And if you think of Metatron, Archangel Metatron actually is the archangel associated with Virgo. So it's funny. It's almost like they're the odd couple, Metatron and Sandalphon. And I'm going to talk more about that as I get to the next day, because this is the full moon, okay, coming. So keep that in mind because we have Pisces, Virgo, okay, energy happening right away as soon as we get into this, Pisces season. So because Sandalphon was mortal, he knows how hard Earth School was or is. And because of that, he is said to have a direct pipeline to God, and that he can deliver prayers to God and really helps people, like advocates for them. He's like almost like a social worker in some way. Like he knows, he's like, oh, you guys, I'm going to help you, because you have it rough down here. And also it's interesting because Archangel Sandalphon is said to be super, 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 super tall. And he can reach up to heaven and give your prayers and requests to God. That's what the, saying is around this. So It's really kind of fascinating. Archangel Sandalphon, he helps to protect mankind, us fallible humans, us humans that are not perfect, that we're mere mortals. He's here to help us, okay, and advocate for us, as well as the planet as a whole. He knows what it was like, and so he wants us to level up, and because of that, that's why he helps us in that way. Now, so the big thing around Sandalphon is music, sound. Okay, he's very much associated with celestial music, and it is said that kind of he's in charge of the music department. Okay, now if you think of Pisces, Pisces is very, very, very strongly associated with music. A lot of Pisces I know, including myself with Pisces moon. I have a Pisces moon. We're all into music. A lot of Pisces I know are into music. And it's not just like, oh yeah, music's on, whatever. It's like music is felt and experienced on a visceral level. So if you have any planets, again, 12th house or in Pisces, you will be a musically oriented person, and music might help you with your life and define you and all that good stuff. Music is really important. So it's very important also to Sandalphon, and that's said to be how Sandalphon helps to heal the world with nature's music. So if you think about crickets and you think about different sort of bird songs and all kinds of things, that is said to be Sandalphon that helps us with sound. So this can be sound healing, clearing our energy with sound. It's interesting, in researching this broadcast, because I do a lot of research for these broadcasts, in doing this type of broadcast, I was reading that I guess somebody said that we cannot be psychically attacked if classical music is playing. So I thought that was very interesting around that. But it is about having just really beautiful sound and really beautiful music surrounding us to protect ourselves, to help align our aura, to help us with times of negativity. Even my bell here, and by the way, Andrea, thank you so much. Pisces season, thank you, Archangel Sandalphon, right? I used to use this in my space clearing when I used to do that. I don't do that anymore before COVID hit, where I used to, if someone called me and they wanted to clear the space in their house from negative energies or whatever, I used to do that, and I would bring that bell with me because sound does clear. Sound can clear negative. It's not just sage, and it's not just Palo Santo with the smells, but it can also be sound, pleasant sound, beautiful sound. And I know everybody has their own version of that, but I'm thinking that death metal is probably not covered in that. I'm sorry to offend anybody that loves their death metal, but I'm talking about very beautiful melody and just lovely tones. And so chanting Om is another thing that can really clear our vibration. Om, really getting into a beautiful Om. So there's a lot of musicians, George Harrison, Kurt Cobain. I mean, there's just so many musicians that I could not even cover all of it. So yeah, Ashley Ann said Beethoven. You love Beethoven. Doing recordings. Yeah, exactly. Your mom was dancing to Bob Marley and she's 82 years old. That's beautiful. Yeah. So if you're guided right now to be returning to some kind of musical root that you may have in your life, whether it be chanting, whether it be dancing, whether it be singing in the shower, singing in your car, playing with rattles or drums or any kind of thing like that. If you're being guided, like I haven't listened to this recording in so long, your old music, your old, CDs or whatever, however you used to use, I want you to get back into that, because really this is very strong energy and it's all about healing. Okay. It's all about healing. Yeah, Pisces don't like conflict, very sensitive to art and music, best friends, loyal. Yes, Marie, I agree. So yeah, a lot of Pisces are, it's very soothing to the soul to have that, but also that's how Archangel Sandalphon heals, okay, and communicates with us is through sound, some kind of sound. So that is really just a beautiful thing. Now, when I was looking for my, oh, dang it, I forgot one of them, but I'll show you. If you are a Pisces and you're born in February, the birthstone of February is garnet. Okay, this is a beautiful, you can see very dark garnet that I have. This can be used for February Aquariuses or February Pisces. Okay, and that would be a good stone for you. It's very grounding. I like garnet because it is the root chakra and helps us to ground. I forgot I was going to bring my example of aquamarine, but that is more for Pisces that are in March. Okay, is aquamarine, which is a very, very, very light blue. And other stones too, beautiful. Some other stones are rose quartz, which I personally think anybody could use rose quartz. I mean, but Pisces might need to soothe their soul because they are the counselors. Okay, they're the ones that listen to all the tales of woe. They're the shoulder that most people put their heads on to cry. Pisces are very good with usually helping people. The only thing is that Pisces needs to have its alone time because Pisces heart is a sensitive. I call Pisces the bleeding heart. I have a lot of nicknames for the different signs, and that is my nickname for Pisces is the bleeding heart because we are the counselors. We love to help people, help animals, help children, help a stray ladybug, whatever. Okay, that's a Pisces thing. And Pisces do get burnt out a little bit. So sometimes you can't reach your Pisces. You'll be calling and calling and texting and texting. Where are you? Where are you? They disappeared. That's why they were overwhelmed. And so Pisces has to reset their nervous system. And if you think about the Pisces is the dueling fish, it is one of the dualistic signs of the zodiac. So when you think of the Pisces symbol, fish, they can swim away, go under a rock, you will never know where they are. They could be right in front of you and you couldn't see them. That's what Pisces do. They disappear when they've had enough. And so you know that your Pisces in your life is maybe perhaps stressed out if you're trying to reach them and they're MIA. That is a very big Pisces thing. Again, it's we need to have time to kind of recalibrate, if you will. I do it too. I know I'm a Pisces moon. I have those times I'm like, I've had enough. The other, I don't have it with me either. I thought I had put it over there. The other stone that is really good for Pisces, which you might not think would be good for Pisces because you think maybe Scorpio or Aries, is bloodstone. But if you think of a sensitive heart, a sensitive soul, somebody that needs a little bit of protection, bloodstone is perfect for that. And it also helps because it's Scorpio and Aries, it helps to handle some of those really intense emotions because Pisces, from what I have seen in all my counseling with people, Pisces tend to be some of the strongest people. I mean, because they just take on so much. But they do have to learn to discharge. They have to learn to protect themselves because almost every Pisces I've ever met is an empath. Now, every once in a while you will get a narcissist Pisces for sure, but a lot of Pisces are empathic. And so that's something that's, very strong. So that is Mercury in Pisces and the Sun in Pisces. Now we're going to be talking, communicating, and talk about our feelings because Mercury's in Pisces. So remember, Mercury is how we communicate. Mercury is how we get around. Mercury is all the details, all the, that's Mercury. Mercury said blah, 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 talk. And in Pisces, it's kind of indirect talk around the bush. I'm not really sure, it's kind of like sometimes those slippery fish, again, Pisces, can be a little elusive in the conversational. But the fun thing is Pisces tends to like to talk about spirituality. If you guys are into tarot cards, astrology, all different runes, This is your season, because Pisces loves, whenever I post a Pisces post, oh my God, usually it blows up, because I'm like, where are my Pisces out there? Because they're all like, you know, because they're so into all this stuff. And that's what the 12th house is about. Whether it be religion, whether it be spirituality, whether it be this type of stuff where we're sort of, you know, getting our information from maybe angels, or maybe, you know, tarot cards, or whatever that is. That's very Pisces. Scorpios and Pisces are the two signs. They will blow me up whenever I post things about them. They're two signs that are really into this kind of work. So if you're a Pisces, welcome. And again, we're going to talk and communicate like a Pisces now too. So we have two planets there. We already have Saturn and Neptune there too. And at some point, Saturn's going to form the sun will form a conjunction with Saturn, and Mercury will form a conjunction with Saturn while we're going through this, and also Neptune at the very end of Pisces. So, woo, that's a lot of Pisces energy. We'll have four biggies in the Pisces department. Now, this feeds into the next day, which is the full moon. So remember that whenever we have the full moon, the sun and the moon are opposite of each other. So the sun's in Pisces, and the moon is going to be in Virgo. 5 degrees Virgo, 5 degrees Pisces sun. So wherever you have in your chart 5 degrees of Virgo or Pisces, okay, you look at that and see, and that means that something is going to be affecting you strongly. If you are a Pisces, you are a Virgo, this is your full moon, okay? And that's coming on 2/24/2024. So 2/24/24. So it's an interesting date, even that date. Okay, so the moon is going to be the snow moon. This is the name of the full moon, and it will be a micro full moon. So meaning that it's going to be far out from Earth, so it'll look like a little teeny tiny full moon in the sky, and that is our Virgo full moon. So that is going to be going on Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, and again, if you're on the West Coast, that'll be at 4:30 a.m. Pacific time. So welcome to the full moon. This is our full moon in February. This is Pisces full moon, the snow moon, micro full moon, because remember, the last new moon was a super moon, and whenever that happens, it means the next full moon is a micro moon. So that last new moon on February 9th was a super moon, and that was really, really strong and potent and powerful in Aquarius. That was a lot. So now we have a micro moon. So what is the deal with you know, Virgo and Pisces? Well, they're the odd couple. You know, I just said that. So Pisces is all about thinking outside the box and being creative and being flowy and go with the flow, and we'll figure it out. We don't need plans. We don't need to have an itinerary. We don't need any of that stuff. And Virgo is like having, you know, a stress attack because Virgo is like, we need a plan. We need to be at the car at 11:05, you know, pinpointed. And Virgo likes everything to be neat, orderly, okay, and have its rightful order. And that's the difference between Virgo and Pisces. So this is a little contentious, okay? This is a little push and pull here. This is a little crunchy because these two are opposite of each other. Michael Jackson was a Virgo with a Pisces moon. So if you think about somebody that had this internal conflict with himself, you know, that's kind of like what's going on. He was born during the full moon time in Virgo season. So now we have the opposite of that. We have Pisces sun, Virgo moon. But again, it's like a same thing. Marie said, Virgo comes to clean your house. That's right. I love that. Yes, Andrea, yes, your Pisces is in your 10th house. Exactly. So, you know, it depends on where is Pisces in your astrological chart and where is Virgo in your chart. And that's where the thing is. Now, remember, full moons are a peak, a height, a maximizing of a cycle. This is the ending of a cycle. We're finishing up things. We're completing things. We're wrapping it up. And, you know, this was something that we're, you know, kind of coming, you know, to a full sort of experience with. Is it always an ending? No, but it's a maximizing. We're peaking something, we're finishing something, we're completing something. And sometimes people feel that endings are rough, but I mean, it doesn't have to be. It can be something that you know, is just like we're finishing that project. We began this project back during the last Virgo season. And I forgot to look up the date. I apologize. I'll post it after the broadcast. But that was basically, we had the last Virgo new moon. Well, now this is the peak of the ending of that time. And so for 6 months, we've been working on whatever project we were working on during that time, something probably organizational in nature or perfecting something with our health, because Virgo is associated with health. Virgo is associated with digestion. So anybody have some digestion stuff, that is Virgo's department. And it is about taking care of things. So we're just wrapping up something, we're completing something, and it depends on where these two characters are in your astrological chart in order to know how that'll affect you. 5 degrees. So, or if you were born around this time, you know, of Pisces, around this time of the month, and this is your birthday time, then you'll be in the heart of it. And also, if you were born around the same time, August 24th or so, in Virgo season, then you would be feeling this as well. And again, you would be in the heart of this. This would be like right up in your in your sector there, and you'll feel this. So it depends on what area of the chart it is. Now we have 2 players, big players behind the scenes that I'm going to cover that's going on behind the scenes during this particular full moon. Also, I should say, you'll feel this also if your moon is in another earth sign. Capricorn, Taurus moons will feel they'll be feeling heightened, you know, from this. If you are an earth sign, if you're another mutable sign, so if you're Sagittarius or Gemini, you'll feel this as well, because all the mutables will be activated. It'll be like everybody, Wonder Twins activate, that kind of thing. So we'll be having that going on. So all of these signs, everybody will feel this on some level, whether or not you have planets in Pisces or Virgo, doesn't matter. You'll be feeling this somewhere in your chart, even in an empty area. It'd still be on a house somewhere in the chart. Exactly, Andrea. Wonder Twins. Yeah, I'm showing my age there, but all right. So we have 2 big players going on behind the scenes. Okay. One is, that night, Venus is going to form a square with Jupiter, 11:01 p.m. Eastern time. So Venus, as I said, is in Aquarius, and Jupiter is in Taurus. Now, these 2 are going to be forming a square with each other. But good news is, remember, look at the players, Venus and Jupiter. 2 thumbs up. Okay, Venus and Jupiter, yeah, play away, square each other, oppose each other, who cares? Interact with each other, because whenever Jupiter highlights something, it makes it bigger. Well, in this case, it's making Venus bigger. Okay, we need more love, make it bigger. That's great. This is good news. Now, could there be a little faux pas? Could there be a little overestimation of ourselves? Could there be, like we might be thinking we're the, the hot tamale. We had on a beautiful outfit, or we thought it was beautiful, and it kind of looked awkward. That could be that. This could be that. There's worse things in the world, right? So when these 2 square each other, it's really not a big deal. And so, and it could be very positive, because now we're getting into the big love kind of stuff. So that's good. So again, if you're a Taurus, that's Jupiter and Taurus, and Venus and Aquarius, you'll be feeling this too. So that's going on behind the scenes. So there's a love vibe going on, love and money, and creativity. That's Venus. So love, money, creativity, and Jupiter's making it all big. The other thing that's going on, that's happening behind the scenes, is a little bit more, and that is where there's going to be a conjunction between 2 sort of minor, I say minor, but in this case, they're going to be coming to in a more pronounced way. We have 2 things going on behind the scenes with this full moon. The other thing is, Black Moon Lilith is going to form a conjunction with Juno. Now, the cool thing, I don't know if you guys have even noticed or picked up on this, but there have been really no Black Moon Lilith transits throughout all of February, which is amazing, okay? Because she's a little bit, we don't really always love her. Okay, she's a little dark. Okay, we'll say that. And Juno is who is our ideal marriage partner? Well, they're forming a conjunction. Black Moon Lilith is on top of who our ideal marriage partner is, Juno, and they're both in Virgo also. So this is quite interesting because there is a lot of love stuff going on kind of this week, kind of behind the scenes. Yeah, we have some Mercury, and that's our Hetty McHetty talking and communicating. But if you think about, even on Thursday, Venus was forming a conjunction with Mars. And then on Saturday, we have Venus squaring Jupiter. And then also on Saturday, we have Juno forming a conjunction with Black Moon Lilith. And that's going to be active that whole Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there's a lot of love stuff kind of going on. Now, Lilith, in case you're not familiar with her, Black Moon Lilith I call her Mrs. Pluto because she's very similar to Pluto, but not as dark, and not as, Pluto's really dark. But I always say if they're both fire, Pluto's like a forest fire, it's just gonna wipe everything out, where Black Moon Lilith is more like a bonfire. It's a controlled situation, but it's still a fire, that kind of deal. So when we have she's spicy and she's connecting, and she can be passion. She's raw, she's untamed, she's passionate. Now she can be jealous, she can be sometimes uncontrolled or uncontrollable. She's wild, and she can be angry. Yeah, for sure. Marie said angry. Yeah, she could be. But she's spicy. She's just spicy. Oh, thank you, Sarah. 200 stars. Love that. Sarah, by the way, everybody needs to send positive energy to Sarah. She didn't ask me to do this, but she broke her foot and she needs a little love. So if anybody does Reiki or gives her lots of love on the broadcast, if you want to just think about her in your mind, just say, give a lot of love. We're going to just send you a big love bubble. Okay, because I feel like you could use it. I understand totally, because for those of you that don't remember, I fell down the stairs a couple years ago, and broke both my legs, and oh my God, that was a really hard thing to do. So, sometimes you get through these certain days and you get hit a wall and you feel kind of down. And so it's good to give someone lots of love when they're dealing with an injury like that, with a broken foot. So lots of love to you, Sarah. So anyway, so getting back to this with Black Moon Lilith and Juno meeting up. Now, who is Juno? Juno is who our ideal marriage partner is. And so Juno is somebody that we're looking for as a partner, more than just like a fling. Juno usually likes things to be a little bit more serious, like a mate, a partner, a life partner, a husband, a wife, or whoever, a spouse. That's Juno's job. But Black Moon Lilith is more about, let's have a fling. Let's have a tryst. Let's just, who cares about the rules? Who cares about, if we should, move this fast or not? Black Moon Lilith is very much more raw and primal, and gives two craps about rules and regulations. She's throwing that out the window. So when we have the Juno and Black Moon Lilith meeting up, we could be a little bit more, we might bend the rules a little bit more. There might be a boundary issue around that. They're conjunct each other. They're right on top of each other, both in Virgo. So there's a thing going on there, but it's spicy. And then we have, like I said, Venus squaring Jupiter. So there's a big rise in some love stuff. And, thankfully, I'd rather have romantic and relational stuff going on versus all that violence and that crazy stuff from last week. So it's really much more of a better astrological week kind of in general, other than the full moon, which is always a little spicy. Full moons can be, you have trouble sleeping, things can feel, the feelings and emotions can come up on us. And that's why I like to do these broadcasts. And I feel personally like it's a public service, because sometimes these things hit us and it's like, why am I feeling this way suddenly? Well, Black Moon Lilith is coming and the full moon's coming, so it can get intense and spicy. And so that is a thing, and jealousy and, all the stuff, and people might not be behaving how we expect them to behave, because Lilith is getting into our minds and making us a little frisky. So that's happening all on the full moon, all on Saturday. And so remember, the peak or the height of it is 7:30 a.m. Eastern time on the 24th, February 24th. So that's also the time to burn or destroy, or after 7:30 a.m. after that time is the time to burn or destroy our last new moon manifestation list. We're releasing, we're letting go. We let go and let the angels help us, whatever you call it. But that's basically, we're just releasing the energy and allowing. And then we'll be in the full moon time of the month. So we'll have 2 weeks in the full moon time where we're purging, releasing, and letting go, instead of the new moon 2-week time where we're bringing in, we're harvesting, we're manifesting. This is about manifesting in the releasing of something. So you can still use this time to manifest. You just want to use it in almost like an opposite way, where if you say, let's say with money, you want more money, that's new moon. Okay, bring in the money, bring in the money. Well, this time you can manifest in a similar way, only using it in an opposite way. So now we want to release the debt, let go of the debt. Okay, like all the debt is leaving. So whatever you want to let go of, whatever you want to release, okay, that's the way to do it. And I'll use a different example with health. Maybe you want good health. So new moon, bring in all the good health. You want the healthy habits, start fresh, start new. And then with the full moon, we're going to release the weight or whatever you want to release the smoking, or release the, excessive crackers and cookies, releasing something. We're letting go of something in the full moon. And that's how you use this energy to your benefit. So all the way from the full moon to the new moon, that's what we're doing, is we're releasing and letting go. The next new moon is coming in March, and that will be on March 10th. 2024, and that's going to be another super new moon, and that's me in Pisces. So we'll be talking, we're going to keep talking about Pisces, because we're getting into the peak of Pisces season. So that is the deal. And then we have one more minor sort of transit on Sunday, and that's coming on the 25th, February 25th. And that's where the sun is going to form a sextile with Ceres. Okay, the sun is in Pisces, Ceres is in Capricorn. That's the great mother, mothering, nurturing, caretaking. So this is a lovely transit that's behind the scenes of this, also this full moon, kind of, because it's at 2:50 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday. So really, if you think about Saturday night getting into Sunday, and here's another, we're going to care, we're going to love, we're going to nurture, we're going to baby, we're going to coddle something. Okay, so we got all this love kind of stuff. We have many layers of like passion and love and romantic love and maternal love and all kinds of love. So this is good. I think this could be an interesting thing coming, and I think it'll be and it's like less of a spicy new moon or full moon, I'm sorry, than some of the other things. The only thing that's a little crunchy is the full moon will oppose Saturn, and that's going to be on Saturday at 3:24 p.m. But other than that, I like the dynamics behind this particular full moon. I think that it's much less harsh of a full moon than some other full moons. But everybody experiences this stuff differently. You might say, Gretchen, this was a horrible full moon, or this was an amazing full moon for me. It depends on where, what it's interacting with in your chart. Just keep in mind that full moons in general make people go a little bonkers, a little crazy, they get a little off their rocker sometimes with full moons. So we got to watch that. Now, I was going to, if anybody has any questions, yes, there is a big solar eclipse coming in April, and that is, Ashley Ann asked about that. That's the big one. That's the big, huge, big one. All the hotel rooms in Vermont are booking up, and Airbnbs, and that's going to be on April 8th, and that's coming in Aries. We got a really spicy April. I've been talking about April for months now, of this year is a really big April. We got the new moon's total solar eclipse coming in April. We have Mercury retrograde starting on April 1st. No, it's not an April Fool's joke. And we also have Jupiter forming a conjunction with Uranus on April 20th. Okay, I'm remembering that as 420 because that's going to be a little intense too. So we got a lot of big energies, astrological energies. April is going to be like, big, powerful. Somebody asked about what degree is the eclipse. It's going to be 19 degrees Aries. on April 8th. That's the total solar eclipse. And like you guys might have heard about it on the news, but all the hotel rooms are booking up on the pathway of the eclipse pathway. It starts in Texas and it goes all the way up through Vermont. And so it's big, huge, big deal. They're saying, in case if anybody out there is watching from Vermont, they're saying St. Albans, Vermont is going to be the peak like pathway, and people are going to be setting up cameras, and like all the hotel rooms are already booked, and Airbnbs and everything. It's like a big, huge deal. They're selling those crazy eclipse glasses. It's like a Stephen King book. It'll be cloudy, I'm sure, Andrea said. That's what happens. So I'm gonna pull some cards, but I just wanted to end this broadcast, or not the end of the broadcast, but like sort of conclude talking about Pisces with Archangel Sandalphon. I wanted to read you guys a beautiful prayer to Archangel Sandalphon. I am using the word God in this prayer, but you can swap it out for the universe or Allah or whoever it is you pray to. I'm just using the word God as a universal word. So I'm going to end with this prayer. Archangel Sandalphon, I thank you for making such blessings to people who want to praise God through music and prayer. Please inspire me to use music to communicate with God and present my prayers in creative ways. Motivate me to sing and play songs of praise and dance to express how inspired I feel by my love for God and the angels. Teach me how to use my God-given talents to make the world a better place. Amen. So I just thought that was a beautiful prayer to Archangel Sandalphon to get our prayers, heard. So if anybody has any questions out there, I am taking some questions. I hope that was helpful to you guys. And I'm also going to pull a collective card, what we all need to know for the week, because, I always do that. So a lot of people were saying that was beautiful. Oh, nice. Kelly said your brother's going to be working in St. Albans at that time. That would be cool. Yeah, maybe they can go out on the lunch break to sort of see what the deal is. Nobody is typing any questions, so I'm just gonna pull my one card. What do you guys need to know? And if you like these broadcasts, please make sure that you subscribe, like my Facebook, my YouTube, my Facebook page, and also my YouTube channel, so that you make sure that you can stay up to date. Ashley, oh yes, will your art exhibit on Wednesday be successful and productive? Let's see. Oh, nice. Teaching and learning. This is Archangel Zadkiel. Okay, teaching and learning. Keep an open mind, learn new ideas, and then teach these to others. So this would be a really good, like if you're there teaching people about your art or, whatever it is, that would be a really good thing to do. Still job trouble. My goodness. Let's see, Noel. I'm going to pull one quick card for you. It's funny. I felt like those cards wanted to come out. Gifts from God, Noel. I don't know. I just still keep feeling like there is something that's gonna, and it's funny because if you read this, it's Archangel Sandalphon. This is the archangel we've been talking about all night. We angels bring you gifts from your creator. Open your arms to receive. So I feel something's coming. Still something's coming. Oh, Marie, that's a big question about these wars. I mean, war is war. Seems like when people are alive on this planet, that's what we do. I hope that one day we have more wisdom than that. But it seems that that's what the deal is. All right. So I'm going to pull a card. What do we all need to know? Okay. What do we all need to know? And every war, by the way, has its own astrologies. I mean, there's all kinds of things. So I'm not going to get into all that, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Mankind needs to kind of get into peace and compromise and understanding. That's what we need to channel. We can ask Archangel Sandalphon for that. Sylvia. All right, I'm gonna answer Sylvia's, and then I'm gonna pull our one collective card. No, don't worry, no worries, Marie. I agree with you. I think it's something that we have to work on. All right, Sylvia, what about your son? Haven't heard from your son. He's right there. He's right there. He might be busy. It's like he's right there. Feels like. It's like he's maybe not physically there, but it feels like you'll hear from him. It's like he hasn't gone anywhere. He's available. He's just busy. And actually, if you call from him or text him again, you probably will hear from him. Oh, Joanne, really quick. What's your trip for Wednesday? Let's see. You're kind of just doing it on your own. I don't know if you're flying by yourself or driving by yourself or something. I don't know if you see that they're like reading a book or just kind of keeping themselves occupied. So yeah, it's not a bad card. It's not a good card. It's just like a meh kind of card. So you just might be hanging out. Maybe take a book, make sure that you're painting something or reading something or doing something fun to occupy yourself because you might be waiting around for a while. Okay. All right. Full moon. What do we all need to know about this particular full moon? What do we need to know for this Virgo full moon? There's a lot of energy. We have Pisces season, Sun in Pisces, Mercury in Pisces, and now we have the full moon. Oh, well, this is perfect. Archangel Raziel, spiritual understanding, okay? I am bringing you esoteric information, symbols, and helping you to understand spiritual truths. And look at that beautiful purple. That's very much about like that crown chakra energy that I was talking about related to Pisces. You know, when we talk about the crown chakra, I get this beautiful amethyst, you know, and sort of that connects us to spirit, to our angels, our spirit guides, our guardians, whomever we get our information from. But we're getting a lot of downloads. And Pisces, you know, tends to be subtle, but boy, we can really learn a lot about ourselves spiritually through this time of quiet contemplation and sort of looking within our hearts and doing all that kind of stuff. I'm going to ask one more card. What do we need to know about this full moon? So funny. So it's interesting because, you know, people will come to me and they'll say, well, I don't want you to, every once in a while I'll get somebody, it's rare nowadays, but every once in a while I'll get somebody, they contact me and they go, well, you can do a reading for me, but I don't want you to use astrology. I'm like, why? That's my tool. You know, if you do astrology, you'll get the same information as if you did a tarot or as if you did numerology, because they're all linked together because you're reading the energy. Those are just tools to read the energy, but we're all dipping in, okay, to similar energy. And so it's funny, the reason why I'm saying this is because when I pull a different card, right, we get spiritual understanding, right? This was about being alone, quiet contemplation, hermiting, kind of going off on our own. And what do I get? The Hermit card in my other deck. What is that person doing? Well, they're being alone. They're kind of, you know, meditating, praying, whatever it is in the cave there, this person. And that, so see how we're, you know, even when I ask different cards, we're getting similar answers because it's all source energy, whatever you want to call it, God, Buddha, the universe, whoever it is you pray to, doesn't matter. We are basically downloading all the similar energy from source. And so the method doesn't matter. Tarot cards, being a psychic, you know, I don't know, playing with matches, whatever gift or thing you're using, your tool that you use to access source, we're all dipping into source. So this is about time to dip into source. This is what we need to do, is dip into source. Oh, thank you, Rosalie. I love that. 20 stars. Thank you so much. You know, and Kelly, yeah, you say astrology. I mean, that resonates. Everybody resonates with something different, you know, but that's okay. I mean, clearly I resonate with astrology the most, but I mean, I dibble dabble in all kinds of other things too. And so I'm always like, why would you not want me to use my tool? It's kind of like going to the doctor going, well, you can look at me, but you know, don't use your stethoscope. It's like, well, why would you, why? I don't get it. You know, so this is the tool, but we're all tapping into that source energy. And this is what Pisces season is all about, is opening up to source and listening to our hearts and listening to what we're getting downloaded with. Thank you, Noel. Another 20 stars. I appreciate all of you. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching, for tuning in. I love you all. Have a great week, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Facebook page so you get updates like this. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the full moon next week. Namaste. Bye.